Hello, everyone, and it's working right into February here. So thank you so much for taking a little bit of time today to listen about what's going on in the district. I did have a couple things I wanted to talk about. Obviously, right now we're fully on board with doing interviews around our reorganization. Hopefully here pretty soon we'll have some communication going out around those. We're spending about 10 hours a day doing interviews, and a lot of super quality people, both internally and externally, applying for those jobs. And we're really trying to, find the best people for those positions to really move our learning model forward. And it's really exciting to see folks from within our district and the passion they have, and also people externally who are really excited about the things we're doing here. So really excited about that, and hope to get that out here pretty soon on what we're doing. Also want to talk a little bit about, we're working on a calendar update. With the mill levy last year, we added 3 school days, and we're also adding a PD day. So we have a pretty robust team of folks working on developing that out for the next year. We are taking in mind some long-range considerations, both around start and end times. We're trying to work on a better solution for early release to better accommodate both our community and our school to provide planning time. So I know that team is working very hard on that. And the idea is really to have some information about that at March board meeting. So that's kind of the timeline to at least get some of that information out to you. We know this puts a little bit of pressure on people's planning actually for next year, and we get that. But we also want to be very thoughtful in how we do that to best meet the needs of our kiddos. Our bond projects are starting off really well. Currently we have design work being done on Orchard Mesa Middle School, the Palisade Gym Complex, that area, and also DIA Gym Complex. So those things are going on, as well as the process for getting everything ready for summer construction and remodels around other schools. And we'll get that information up on the website about where those are going to be and what's happening with that. In conjunction with kind of some of this work, we're also working on a plan to implement a summer school program this year. And hopefully by the middle of March, we'll have more information about that and how that'll look. With the idea that we really want to engage learners and keep their learning going, the ones who maybe need a little bit extra time or possibly extensions. So we're working with some different agencies around the community to add some extensions in with that. And we're trying to look for sites where that really fits a need. So we're working on a couple of those things. Right now, if you look at our website, you can find information about Kindergarten Roundup and School of Choice, and dates are coming up for all of those things. So please pay attention to those. School of Choice is a very critical one. You really need to get your information in quickly. I will tell you right now, with most of our schools reaching capacity, it's very important that you get your information in on time so we can help facilitate getting kids in places and making sure we have a balance across our entire system. We are looking at that very deliberately, knowing that we are having a lot of construction in the valley. Kind of an offshoot of that conversation has been the fact we are putting together a long-range planning team to look at capacities of schools, kind of next phases of either bringing schools online or changing schools out. So you'll be hearing more about that over the next 6 months and where we're going, with the idea that we'll have a real plan for the next 2 years, the next 5 years, the next 10 years. So our community actually knows exactly where we're going with those things. A couple of things I just wanted to talk about. I've been getting some feedback and some concerns and questions around how will ELL and GT and even to some extent how our equity department is going to work in this new model. I will tell you the idea specifically around ELL and GT is really to actually take the very few people we have that are supporting EL and GT in our system and expand that out. So our D51 learning model is actually geared extremely well to support learners across the spectrum, and those effective teaching strategies inside ELL and GT are really meant to meet the needs of all kids, with the idea that we will better be able to meet the needs of particular subgroups, including ELL and GT. I got an interesting question about the equity office, and that there was some indication that I was doing away with the equity office. I will tell you, currently on our org chart, there isn't an equity office. We haven't had one for a few years. We do have people that work on equity, but I guess in my mind, one of the things I would like to see in our system is get away from an office or a person who's in charge of equity, and really think about how we can talk about inclusion for all kids across our entire system. I know part of our SEL work is around inclusion and equity and diversity, but I think we need to take a grasp of that as an entire system, 3,000 employees plus and parents and kids, and really meet the needs of all kids, and get away from this siloed approach of a department is in charge of something. We are all responsible for that. We are all responsible for the learning of all of our kids. One of the things I'm starting to work on and talking to CMU about is the possibility of offering scholarships to some of our diverse populations to be able to go through CMU's teaching program so we can actually have more representation across our schools. So, we're working on all those things. Things are not going away in terms of what's good for kids. What we are doing is trying to put that into one model that really supports all kids. So I hope that kind of helps people understand that a little bit better. And like I said, I mean, this is going to be a process. I know some of you have emailed me over the last week, and quite frankly, are expecting emails back pretty quickly. Right now, I'm putting in about 10 to 12 hours a day in interviews, plus a full-time superintendent job, which is a pretty busy gig. I will work to get back to you, or at least get somebody to get back to you on questions you may have. But in the meantime, know that we're working hard to really make our system a better place for everybody. And I appreciate everything you do out there. I appreciate our community. Had lots of great conversations with community members at the White Ice celebration, and I better give a shout out to the D51 Foundation for that, because I got to tell you, that was tremendous. I mean, just the support those folks are showing for our school, our community, everybody who showed up. Almost 700 people there that night. That's tremendous. I mean, that really shows how much we are coming together as a community and as a school system. So thank you all for everything you do. And I'll be back with you probably in another week, give you another update. I hope this kind of interaction helps. I know it's one way right now, but down the road, we'll figure out a way to make this more of a two-way street on communication. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful week. And hopefully we get some snow sometime, right? Thank you. Have a good day.